Before your life changes forever, the universe whispers. The problem is, most people ignore the whispers and wait for the storm. Have you been feeling restless lately? Like something is off, or maybe everything is falling apart, yet deep down, a strange calm is growing inside you. That's not a coincidence. That's a spiritual alarm clock. Because when life is about to shift, radically, you don't always get a warning. But there are signs. And if you ignore them, you'll be stuck in the same cycle, repeating the same mistakes, living the same version of you. But if you notice these signs, and trust them, you're on the edge of a transformation. A complete inner and outer rebirth. This video is about 7 undeniable signs that a massive shift is coming into your life. Stay with me till the end, because one of these signs will hit you deep, and it could change how you see your entire journey. If you're ready to unlock that next level, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's awaken that version of you that's been waiting to rise. 1. You feel disconnected from what once made you happy. Have you noticed that the songs you used to blast on repeat now bounce off you like static? Or that the jokes you once laughed at feel watered down, distant echoes of someone else's punchline? It's like you're watching your own life through a fogged-up window. You remember how vibrant everything used to be, but now all colors have dulled. That gut punch of emptiness isn't just sadness creeping in, it's your soul recalibrating. Imagine a radio dial slowly shifting, hunting for a new station. Your inner frequency is changing, and the old broadcasts just can't reach you anymore. Think about the friends you used to meet up with every weekend. The ones who knew your favorite stories, your hidden fears, the way your eyes lit up when you spoke of your dreams. Now, each conversation feels like wading through molasses. Their laughter doesn't lift you, it pulls you down. Hobbies that once set your heart on fire, painting, gaming, training for that marathon, all feel like chores. If you force yourself to sit down and enjoy them, a hollow ache gnaws at you, whispering that you deserve more than this mechanical routine. And success? Oh, success. You chase those promotions, the accolades, the trophy moments. You hit the targets and still felt a void so vast it threatened to swallow you whole. That's because you were building someone else's vision, playing a role on the world stage. Your spirit has outgrown the costume it once wore so comfortably. That emptiness? It's not a hole to fill, it's a vacuum making room for a bolder, truer version of yourself. This disconnection is extreme because it's a declaration, you're evolving. The safe harbor you anchored in has become your cage. The pain of outgrowing your past life is intense, but it's the very pressure that forges diamonds. Lean into it. Ask yourself, what did I once love so deeply that now repels me? What hidden calling is pushing my soul to abandon familiar shores? This discomfort is sacred, it's the cosmic signal that your rebirth is underway. Embrace the void, because it's where your new essence will take shape. 2. You're losing things and people, fast. Have you ever looked around and thought, why is everything falling apart all at once? The job you thought was secure suddenly disappears. Friendships that felt unbreakable become distant, cold, or filled with tension. Plans you were so sure about just crumble overnight. And to make it worse, your finances take unexpected hits. Money vanishes faster than you can understand. It's like life is pulling everything out from under your feet, and you're left standing in the wreckage, confused and exhausted. It feels brutal, personal, almost like a punishment. But here's the truth most people miss in the chaos. This isn't destruction, it's a divine detox. When your life is preparing for a major transformation, the universe doesn't whisper politely, it clears the space with force. And what looks like loss is actually a deep, spiritual cleansing. You cannot rise while carrying the weight of what no longer serves you. And so, the people who no longer align with your vibration will drift, or be torn away. The plans built from old versions of you will dissolve. Anything built on ego, fear, or false comfort will collapse. Not because you're cursed, but because your next chapter can't be written in the ink of your past. Yes, it's extreme, painful. It tests your sense of control, identity, and trust. But here's the perspective shift that changes everything. You're not being punished. you're being prepared. Think of it like this: if you're climbing a mountain, you can't take unnecessary baggage. The higher you go, the more oxygen you need. The lighter your load must be. Life knows this. So it strips away relationships that would hold you back. It removes plans that were too small for your growth. It blocks financial sources that came with spiritual debt. You're not losing randomly, you're shedding strategically. Let go, or be dragged. That's the choice. And the longer you resist the process, the more painful it becomes. The people and things you're losing? They may have served a purpose in your past, but they were never designed to follow you into your future. So instead of mourning what's being taken, start asking, what am I being made room for? What's trying to enter my life, now that the clutter is clearing? Because behind every closed door is a doorway to something greater, if you're brave enough to walk through it. 3. You start questioning everything. There comes a moment in life, often silently, without warning, when a voice deep inside you starts whispering dangerous questions. Why am I even here? Is this who I really am? Do I truly want the life I've built? And at first, those questions terrify you. They make you feel unstable, like your world is unraveling. But what's actually happening is far more powerful than a breakdown. It's a breakthrough. This is the point where the false self you've spent years building, layer by layer through family expectations, societal pressure, survival patterns, and past wounds, begins to crack. The identity you've clung to like armor suddenly feels suffocating. You start to realize you've been living on autopilot, going to the same job, chasing the same goals, following the same routines, not because they fulfill you, but because they're familiar. Safe. Expected. But something inside you refuses to stay silent any longer. That inner voice, the one you've silenced for years, is getting louder. It's asking questions that shake your very foundation. Is this the life you dreamed of, or the one you settled for? Are you living with purpose, or just passing time? Are your goals truly yours, or someone else's script handed to you? This stage is intense, because it forces you to confront your own reflection without filters. It's the collapse of illusions, the death of comfort zones. And while it may feel like you're falling apart, what's really happening is you're awakening. You're not going crazy. You're waking up. You're waking up from the trance of survival. From the lie that success equals happiness. From the belief that who you've been is who you must continue to be. This questioning is sacred. It's your soul rebelling against smallness. It's your higher self demanding to be heard. And yes, it's messy. People around you might not understand. They'll say, "You've changed." And they're right, you are changing. Because the version of you that once accepted less, stayed quiet, followed blindly, is gone. Or at least on its way out. So if you're questioning everything right now, don't panic. Celebrate. It means the mask is cracking. The real you, the wild, fearless, purpose-driven version, is rising. Let it. Don't run from the questions. Sit with them. Let them burn through the illusions. Because on the other side of those questions is your truth. And once you find that, there's no going back. Only forward. Only higher. 4. You feel extremely alone, even around people. Have you ever been in a room full of people, smiling, laughing, talking, yet felt completely invisible? Have you ever been surrounded by friends or even family, and still felt like no one truly sees you? Not your pain. Not your dreams. Not your silent battles. Just your presence, floating like a ghost in a crowded room. This isn't ordinary loneliness. It's a deeper, more haunting silence. A disconnect that can't be explained, not even to yourself. And that's what makes it feel so extreme, so isolating. Because from the outside, your life might look normal. You're functioning, socializing, showing up. But inside, it feels like your soul is screaming in a language no one understands. But here's the truth that most people overlook. This loneliness is sacred. It's not a curse. It's not a sign that something's wrong with you. It's actually one of the clearest signs that something massive is shifting within you. Because every great transformation begins in solitude. Think about a caterpillar. Before it becomes a butterfly, it disappears into a cocoon, alone. No crowds. No distractions. Just stillness. Silence. Darkness. That isolation is where the real magic happens. And your loneliness? That's your cocoon. You're not being abandoned by the world. You're being set apart, for evolution. The reason you feel out of sync with others is because your vibration is changing. You're no longer resonating with surface-level conversations, empty routines, or shallow energy. You crave depth, meaning, realness. But most of what surrounds you still lives in the shallow end, so naturally, you feel the gap growing. This sacred solitude is preparation. It's the space where clarity is born, where the noise fades, where your true voice finally has room to rise above the static. Yes, it hurts. Being alone in a world that doesn't get you is one of the hardest parts of growth. But it's also one of the most necessary. Because until you can stand with yourself in silence, you'll never fully recognize your own power. So if you feel unseen, don't beg to be noticed. If you feel misunderstood, don't shrink to fit in. Instead, honor the silence. Protect the cocoon. Because wings are forming. And when they're ready, you won't need anyone's permission to fly. 5. You're drawn towards silence, nature, or solitude. Lately, the noise of the world feels unbearable. The same conversations, the endless scrolling, the loud crowds, the forced smiles at parties. It's not just boring, it's agitating. Things that once entertained you now exhaust you. Being around too much energy feels like static in your brain. Even the idea of socializing feels fake. You nod along, you play the part, but deep inside, you're screaming for escape. You don't want noise anymore. You want peace. Not attention. Not excitement. Not even validation. Just stillness. And here's why. Your soul is done with distractions. You've spent years living in the chaos. Surrounded by people, obligations, screens, tasks, conversations that drain instead of energize. For a while it worked. It kept you busy. It helped you survive. But now, something inside you is shifting. The mask is slipping. The noise is cracking. The illusion is breaking. And the only thing that feels right anymore is quiet. You find yourself craving long walks alone. Sitting in nature. Staring at the sky. Listening to your own breathing more than other people's opinions. You're pulled toward the trees, the ocean, the stars, not because they're trendy, but because they don't ask anything from you. They just let you be. That's not laziness. That's not you going distant. That's alignment. It's your soul detoxing from everything that once kept you disconnected from yourself. Because silence is not emptiness, it's where your truth echoes the loudest. When a major life shift is approaching, your inner world begins to rise above the noise of the outer world. And to hear that new frequency, you need space. Space to feel. To reflect. To remember who you were before the world told you who to be. So if music feels too loud, if parties feel fake, if the world feels overwhelming, it's not because you're weak. It's because you're waking up. You don't want attention. You want alignment. You don't want stimulation. You want serenity. And that shift alone? That is the beginning of your transformation. So honor your need for solitude. Make room for silence. Let nature rewire your nervous system. Because the soul doesn't shout to be heard. It whispers. And only in stillness will you finally hear it speak. 6. You experience synchronicities, too often to ignore. Have you been seeing repeated numbers like 1111, 222, 555, everywhere? Do certain symbols or names keep appearing? Do you randomly think of someone, and then your phone lights up with their name? Or maybe a stranger says something so specific to what you've been struggling with that it feels like the universe itself just sent you a message? Let's be clear, these aren't coincidences. This is synchronicity. And it's not random. It's divine alignment knocking on your door. You see, the universe rarely speaks in words, it speaks in patterns, symbols, signs, energy. And when you're on the edge of a spiritual or a life transformation, these signs don't just show up, they multiply. They grow louder, 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 until even the most logical part of you can't ignore it anymore. These synchronicities are the universe's way of saying, you're on the right path. Don't stop now. They show up when your inner world begins to connect with your higher purpose. When your thoughts, energy, and intentions start vibrating in harmony with the direction you're meant to go. And in that moment, reality begins to bend, not drastically, but subtly, to show you that you're aligning with your soul's blueprint. It might be small at first. Repeating numbers. Hearing the same phrase from different people. Songs that speak to exactly what you're feeling. A book falling off a shelf with the answer you didn't know you needed. But as the shift intensifies, so do the synchronicities. It'll feel almost supernatural, like reality is responding to your very thoughts. And that's because it is. This is extreme, because it flips everything you've been taught upside down. It proves that life isn't random. That you're not alone. That something far greater is guiding you, even when it doesn't make sense to your mind. But here's the catch, you must be awake to notice it. Most people brush it off. Call it luck, chance, déjà vu. But if you're experiencing synchronicities repeatedly, don't ignore them. Lean into them. Ask what they're trying to tell you. Because when reality starts speaking your language, it means you're closer than you think. Closer to your breakthrough. Closer to your truth. Closer to becoming the version of you that your soul was always destined to be. So keep your eyes open. Keep your energy clean. Keep your faith unshakable. Because the signs? They're not just signs. They're confirmation. And they're whispering. You're almost there, keep going. 7. You feel fear and excitement at the same time. There's a strange energy that starts to rise in you just before everything changes. It's not easily explained, it feels like anxiety, like pressure in your chest, like your heart is racing and your stomach is flipping. But at the same time, there's something else beneath the fear. Something electric. Something exciting. As if something massive is about to happen, but you have no proof, just a deep, soul-level knowing. This inner conflict, being both scared and thrilled, isn't confusion. It's intuition. It's your body and soul sensing a seismic shift before your mind can even comprehend it. You see, the human nervous system is sensitive to energy. And before a breakthrough comes, before a door opens, before your life transforms, your energy field picks it up first. And it sends signals through your body that feel like butterflies, nervousness, or restlessness. It's extreme because you're standing on the edge of the unknown. And the unknown is terrifying, but also powerful. Your comfort zone is being shaken. You can feel something calling you, pulling you forward, but it's not mapped out. It's unfamiliar. And that's where true growth lies, in that uncomfortable, electric tension between fear and faith. Here's the truth most people don't realize: fear and excitement are twins. They show up with the same heartbeat, the same physical sensations. But the meaning you attach to them changes everything. If you call it anxiety, you'll shrink back. But if you recognize it as anticipation, your inner self bracing for expansion, you'll step forward with power. This is not a warning. It's not your body telling you to run. It's your soul saying, brace yourself. The next level is arriving. You're not nervous because something bad is coming. You're nervous because you're about to outgrow your old life. You're about to say yes to something higher, bigger, bolder. And your nervous system knows that what's coming is going to stretch you into someone you've never been before. So instead of backing away from that feeling, lean in. Feel the fear, and still move forward. Trust that the excitement you feel underneath the discomfort is your soul smiling, whispering, "This is it. This is the moment you've been preparing for." Because the most powerful shifts in life don't come when you feel ready. They come when you feel both afraid and alive. That's not fear. That's the vibration of becoming. Let it shake you, then let it lift you. So if you've been feeling different lately, it's not just in your head. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're not alone. You're transforming. A major shift is coming, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. And these signs? They're your early clues from the universe. Pay attention. Trust the process. Let me know in the comments, which one of these signs have you noticed the most? I read every single one. If this hit your soul, don't leave without hitting that like, subscribe, and turning on notifications. Because your transformation deserves to be seen, supported, and celebrated. Stay aligned. Stay awake. Your next chapter is already unfolding.